There's a quiet revolution happening in medicine right now, and it's not about a fancy new pill or some surgical robot. It's about the code that's hidden inside every single one of us, our DNA. And we are right on the verge of using it to predict and maybe even prevent diseases in a way we never, ever thought possible.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if a simple test could tell you about your own personal risk for things like heart disease or diabetes, giving you this crucial head start to actually do something about it? Well, this isn't science fiction anymore. It's the promise of a whole new era in medicine. But to get here, we first had to fix a massive, massive problem.
And that brings us to the real heart of the issue. You see, for all the incredible advances we've made in understanding the human genome, we've been operating with a huge blind spot, one that has seriously limited the potential of genetic medicine for most of the world's population.
Take a look at this number, over 90%. For years, this single figure basically defined the biggest barrier we had in genomic research. So, what does it actually represent?
And there it is. For the better part of 20 years, the vast library of human genetic data we were building was overwhelmingly, well, European. This created a profound bias. It meant our understanding of human DNA was totally incomplete, and the medical tools we were building from it just didn't work equally well for everyone. And this wasn't just some academic problem, it had very real-world consequences. As this quote points out, the imbalance directly held back health equity. A breakthrough genetic test that was developed using one population's data could be way less accurate or maybe even misleading for someone from a different ancestral background. So yeah, clearly something had to change.
And that change, it has arrived. It's here in the form of a full-blown data revolution. Scientists and researchers all across the globe finally recognize this blind spot and launch this unprecedented effort to fix it for good.
This slide just gives you a sense of the incredible scale of what's happening. The map highlights these massive projects collecting DNA from previously underrepresented populations, from the Americas to Africa and Asia. It's a coordinated global mission to build a genetic library that truly represents all of humanity. And it's not just DNA. They're connecting that data with health records and other biological info. We're talking about some powerhouse initiatives here, like the All of Us program in the US, which is gathering data from 1 million people with a huge focus on diversity. And it's not alone. You can see major efforts like the UK Biobank, China Map, the Nigerian 100K Genome Project on this list. Every single one is a critical piece of the puzzle. So, what's the result of all this work? Well, that brings us to our next big number, more than 500,000. And this isn't just more data, it's so much better. We now have over 500,000 new, high-quality, whole genome sequences from all these diverse populations. This is the raw material that's finally letting us see the full picture of human genetic variation. And that is opening the door for discoveries that are relevant to everyone, everywhere. Okay, this is where the story gets really exciting, because all of this incredible science, all this data, it's not just sitting in a research lab anymore. It's making its way into the one place where it can truly make a difference, your doctor's office. This slide shows you that exact journey from the lab to a clinic. On the left, you got all the raw data sources we've been talking about. But the magic really happens in the middle, in what's called clinical translation. This is where scientists turn all that data into practical tools, like new risk scores and diagnostic tests that doctors can actually use to help people. Now, one of the most powerful of these new tools is the polygenic risk score, or PRS. The easiest way to think of it is like a credit score, but for your health. Instead of looking at just 1 or 2 genes, it analyzes hundreds, sometimes even thousands, of tiny variations in your DNA to calculate your inherited risk for a specific disease. So, how does this actually help someone? Okay, let's take coronary artery disease. A younger person might have cholesterol levels that are just kind of borderline, not high enough to really set off any alarm bells. But a polygenic risk score could reveal that they have a high genetic predisposition, empowering them and their doctor to take action, like maybe starting statins years earlier than they ever would have otherwise. And the impact goes way beyond just heart disease. This new genetic understanding is personalizing cancer treatment, it's predicting how patients will respond to specific drugs, and it's even solving medical mysteries for people who have rare diseases. I mean, this really is the new frontier of precision medicine. So, all of this is pointing towards a pretty radical transformation of healthcare.
We are literally leaving behind the medicine of the 20th century and entering a new, way more personalized and much more powerful era.
This slide really captures the scale of the transformation, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. We're shifting from a reactive, one-size-fits-all model to one that is personalized and predictive. And at its very core, this entire change is powered by moving away from that limited, biased data to a foundation that is truly diverse, equitable, and global.
But you know, the true future of medicine isn't just about your DNA. The real power comes from integrating that genetic blueprint with everything else, your medical history, the real-time data from your fitness tracker, and more. When you combine all of these streams, you get a truly holistic and dynamic picture of your personal health.
So, as we close this out, I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. As this revolution continues, this technology is going to become more and more accessible. When it's your turn, what will you want to know about the story that's written in your DNA?